Welcome to the recap video for Auto Hunting with My Clones. If you enjoy the video, please subscribe. If you'd like to see another story covered, please let us know in the comments. In a world where one hasn't imagined it at least once, having a substitute who does all the work, goes to the gym on your behalf, and earns money for you would be considered a dream come true. There was a boy who had a life, or to be precise, almost had a life like that. However, he hasn't given up. In fact, he is working hard to achieve a more comfortable life than anyone else. It might seem funny to think that he is working so hard just to eat and play comfortably, but aren't we all the same? With a sword in his hand, a guy named Sang Yu Jeong is surprised to find that the monster is incredibly huge. Despite this, he tells everyone to attack the monster, reassured by the knowledge that he is not alone. As everyone begins pushing towards the monster and launching their attacks, Jeong is aware that his skills lie in cloning. Balancing work, study, and daily tasks leaves little time for leisure, yet countless desires are waiting to be fulfilled. He yearns to play games, travel, party with friends, and even go on dates. Amidst these conflicting priorities, he questions why one can only tackle one task at a time. Hence, he always harbored the wish to possess two bodies. And then, miraculously, his wish was granted as his body split into two. On a bright sunny day, amidst the hustle and bustle of people going about their business, two individuals engage in conversation. One eagerly announces to the other that he is finally going to undergo awakening, anticipating a super awesome skill. The response he receives is a blunt "fuck you," followed by a suggestion that perhaps he could benefit from a skill that enhances intellect instead. In the scene, we observe a tired-looking man named Jongguk University Jeong Sangwoo, who appears eager to return home. Suddenly, a person holding a microphone, identified as Class Hunter Park Won-Ti, addresses everyone, announcing himself as the one in charge of the 10th Portal Awakening Program. The Awakening Program, administered by the government, aims to assist individuals in awakening their skills. As people are exposed to mana, their awakening is induced by compelling them to cross over a portal. He expressed a sincere hope for the safety of all citizens undergoing their awakening. "Let's begin right away," he declared. As the first group stepped forward, including the overweight Jong guy, he couldn't help but wonder if it was finally his turn. The girl approached Jong-guk, confirming, "You are in group 37, number 7, Mr. Jeong Sangwoo, right?" he affirmed, and the girl proceeded to verify his identity. After confirming his identity and checking the portal, she declared, "Confirmed, Jeong Sangwoo Nim. Please hand over all your gadgets and enter the portal in front of you." As Jong-guk stood beside the portal, he took a deep breath before stepping into it. Immediately, a pop-up message appeared. Identifying the user, Earthling Jeong Sangwoo. Confirmation complete. System usage authority has been granted. Registration complete. With this confirmation, Jong-guk proceeded into the portal, anticipation coursing through him as he awaited what lay beyond. As Jong-guk, now named Jeong Sangwoo, entered the portal, a wave of disorientation washed over him. Did he pass out, he wondered, feeling as though his head might crack open. Blinking as he looked around, he found himself in what seemed to be a bunker. Perplexed, he couldn't help but question why he was in such an environment. Sangwoo guessed that he wasn't the only one feeling unwell. He observed a girl projecting a dragon with her hands, clearly displaying an awesome ability. As some guy approached the girl and invited her to their guild, Sangwoo couldn't help but feel a twinge of envy from the sidelines. A guy approached Jeong Sangwoo, addressing him politely. "Hello, sir. Congratulations on awakening. Do you feel all right?" Sangwoo admitted that he didn't feel well. The guy reassured him, saying, "You'll feel better soon." Then he asked Sangwoo, "Did you check your skills?" Sangwoo replied that he would do so now. The screen opened in front of Jeong, displaying his stats. Strength is 0.7. Reflex is 0.51. Health is 0.643. Endurance is 0.539. Mana is 0-130. Additionally, it listed his skills. Cloning is level 1 and type is casting, and clone strengthening is level 1 and the type is passive. Jeong is taken aback by how the information appears effortlessly, just by thinking about it. Despite feeling a mix of shock and seriousness, he acknowledges the importance of these skills, understanding that they will play a crucial role in his journey ahead. Another screen pops up in front of Jeong, detailing the function of his cloning skill. Create a clone that looks exactly like the user by using energy. The maximum number of clones that can be created depends on the user's level. You are connected linked to the clones. Number of clones you can currently summon simultaneously, 1. Cooldown time, 24 hours. Jeong absorbs this information, recognizing the potential of his abilities and the responsibilities that come with them. As Jeong pondered the capabilities of his cloning skill, he couldn't help but wonder if there were any limitations on its usage. Could he potentially use it for his daily chores? Before he could delve deeper into this thought, a guy appeared and inquired whether Jeong had finished verifying his status. Jeong confirmed, but the guy remarked that his stats didn't seem very impressive. The guy reassured Jeong, advising him not to feel too disheartened. He explained that unless one is a rookie, most people start with similar stats. Curious about Jeong's skill, he inquired, and Jeong replied that his skill was cloning. The guy's nervous laugh raised doubts in Jeong's mind, prompting him to ask if his skill was bad. In response, the guy mentioned someone who had the skill of illusion cloning, but clarified that since illusions couldn't physically act, it wasn't considered a good skill. Jeong felt nervous about the implications of his cloning skill not being an illusion. Sensing his apprehension, the guy offered some reassurance, stating that it was better to have any skill than to awaken without one. He suggested that Jeong demonstrate his skill to the officials nearby, as they would be able to accurately assess its potential. As Jeong observed the guy testing his skill, witnessing his hand transforming into stone, the entire crowd was stunned by the spectacle. Feeling a surge of pressure, Jeong approached the guy and inquired about his exit route. The guy pointed out the exploring troop and informed Jeong that he needed to complete the scanning and registration process before he could return through the portal. In the next scene, Jeong's body test begins as he is greeted by the receptionist. When asked about his skills, Jeong responds with cloning. The receptionist informs Jeong that there is a 73% chance of having one or more skills and confirms the registration of his cloning skills. Subsequently, the awakened registration form is sent to his identification bracelet. As Jeong sits on the bus, he glances at his bracelet, surprised by how quickly the registration process occurred. This prompts him to ponder the nature of his skill, cloning, and what possibilities it may hold. Jeong reached home and greeted his computer, asking, "My babies, have you been working well?" On the screen, various games were running. He then sat on a chair and checked his inventory stats, which disappointingly showed an iron shield with defense at 15 and durability at 30, with a class labeled as normal. Frustrated, Jeong dismissed his inventory stats as trash and lay down on his bed, attempting to forget his disappointment. As Jeong contemplates the decreasing popularity of the game, he wonders if it's time to switch to a new one. However, the reality of needing to pay for tuition and monthly rent weighs heavily on his mind. He realizes he should find a part-time job to cover his expenses. In a fleeting moment of wishful thinking, he imagines someone else working in his place. As the idea of cloning crosses his mind, Jeong's gaze shifts to his bracelet, prompting him to check it. Standing on the floor, he initiates the cloning process, causing blue energy to radiate from his body. A message appears, instructing him to summon clones, and in an instant, the blue energy transforms into a flash. From the flash emerges a naked clone of Jeong. Speechless at the sight of his clone, Jeong is left stunned. Jeong, still in a state of shock, questions the clone if what he sees is indeed real, to which the clone confirms. Tentatively, Jeong asks if he can touch the clone, receiving an affirmative response. As he reaches out and feels the solid presence of the clone's body, Jeong is astonished to find that it's not an illusion but a genuine form. Hastily, he advises the clone to put on some clothes before further interaction. With the clone now clothed, Jeong proceeds to test its obedience. He asks the clone if he needs to give him orders, to which the clone confirms. Jeong then instructs the clone to sit, and to his surprise, the clone complies without the need for raised voices. Encouraged, Jeong issues further commands for the clone to stand up and repeat, which the clone dutifully does. After repeating the actions numerous times, Jeong notices the clone's stamina dwindling, leading him to conclude that the clone's stamina matches his own. As Jeong checks his mobile, he notices messages from Jongdo inquiring about his acquired skill. Meanwhile, he observes the clone undergoing a reboot process. Irritated by Jongdo's messages, Jeong mutters to himself about Jongdo being talkative. A message suddenly appears in front of Jeong, indicating that his stamina has increased by 0.1. Perplexed, Jeong wonders how this could be possible, as he hadn't actively exerted himself to warrant such an increase. Introducing Jumper George Lucas, the owner of the Blink skill and an S-class ranker hailing from America. Not only is he a formidable individual with exceptional abilities, but he also holds the prestigious title of leader within the Enlightened group. Renowned for his remarkable feat as the first person to conquer the formidable Duan's Tower dungeon, an achievement that had eluded all others before him, Jumper George Lucas stands as a symbol of unparalleled skill and determination within the ranks of adventurers. Lucas, standing by the windows, listened intently as his assistant delivered the analysis. As of now, it is analyzed that among the whole population of 300 million people, 80% of the citizens are awakened, the assistant stated. Lucas considered this information for a moment before responding. Is that so? Then how long would it take for it to reach 100%? The assistant consulted his tablets and then informed Lucas. Looking at the data about the number of people participating in the Awakening program every year, we can expect it to be done within 5 years. Lucas's expression shifted to one of concern upon hearing the timeline. He recognized that waiting 5 years was far too long. The scene shifts to a guy sprinting, his breath ragged and his body drenched in sweat. Onlookers exchange comments about his rigorous running routine, expressing concern that he might collapse from exhaustion, particularly considering the attire he's wearing. The guy sits, trying to catch his breath, when an old lady approaches him with a kind gesture, offering water and acknowledging his intense workout. She suggests he drink it before resuming his run. However, the boy hastily glances at the woman and then abruptly runs off, leaving her feeling uneasy and wondering if he might be an introvert. And guess who this guy is? You'll be surprised it's none other than Jeong, who used to be a bit overweight. But now, he's transformed into a smart and good-looking guy. This transformation is proof that hitting the gym pays off, so if you're not already hitting the gym, maybe it's time to start soon. Jeong reached home and decided to check his body weight, which now reads 78.4 kilograms. Surprisingly, despite feeling hungry, he found himself eating twice the amount of food he used to. However, even with the increased food intake, he managed to lose 20 pounds this month. Astonishingly, he hadn't actively done anything to lose weight, yet his body was getting fitter each day. Additionally, he noticed that he seemed to have grown a bit taller. System messages suddenly pop up, indicating that Jeong's stamina, endurance, and reflex have each increased by 0.1. Jeong is surprised by the unexpected improvement in his physical attributes. Jeong is shocked to realize the truth behind the saying that the skill that emerges is usually tied to one's inner desires. As he delves deeper into his newfound ability, he discovers several intriguing aspects of using clones. The pain and exhaustion experienced by the clone won't affect him. If the clone sustains damage or surpasses its energy limit, it will simply disappear. Each time his body undergoes changes, the clones will immediately replicate his exact appearance. Even from a distance, he can give orders to the clone simply by thinking about it. However, the clone itself cannot utilize the cloning skill. These revelations leave Jiang both astonished and intrigued by the potential of his newfound ability. Jiang contemplates the implications of his cloning ability, realizing that if the clones could also clone themselves, an infinite number of clones could be generated, which seems implausible. Reflecting on his past, he recalls moments spent searching for information on a wiki, never imagining that one day he would find himself browsing through the Hunter wiki. The realization of how much his life has changed leaves him deeply astonished. Stats serve as a measure of an individual's abilities and attributes within the awakened world. A stat of 1 is considered the limit for an unawakened grown man, representing average human capabilities. There are 2 main categories of stats: normal stats and special stats. While most awakened individuals possess only a portion of the normal stats, such as strength, agility, and intelligence, some also have access to special stats like regeneration, resistance, vitality, and mentality. However, the method for unlocking these special stats remains largely unknown, with only a few exceptions. Additionally, basic training typically yields minimal increases in stats, making it challenging to even improve by 0.1 each day. Jiang's stats have experienced a slight increase, and he attributes this progress to the tireless efforts of his clone, who trains relentlessly without rest and pushes itself to execute every given order to the limit. Reflecting on this, Jiang realizes that he could have achieved a total increment of 78 stat points if he had trained alongside his clone and matched its efforts. This revelation fills him with a sense of both satisfaction and wonders at the potential of his newfound ability. Jiang reads the gym flyer, which poses the question, "Are you living the same life you had yesterday?" It promotes tough body gym health, offering a variety of services including personal training, spinning, and a comprehensive exercise program. Additionally, it advertises Pilates classes available on weekdays 6 days a week and weekends 2 days a week, along with professional classes. Similarly, personal training sessions are offered on weekdays 6 days a week and weekends 2 days a week, as well as professional classes. This extensive range of options suggests a commitment to helping individuals achieve their fitness goals and improve their overall well-being. Jiang smiles as he envisions taking charge, declaring himself the head of their fitness journey. With a playful gesture, he suggests to his clone, "And you be the limbs," implying that together, they will work harmoniously towards achieving their fitness goals. Jiang glanced at his mobile phone and checked his bank balance, only to find it insufficient for registration. Worried about his financial situation, he realized he had spent a considerable amount on food. Contemplating his options, he decided he needed to get a part-time job. Searching on his computer, he considered finding work in construction labor, recognizing that it would not only help him train his body, but also earn him some much-needed money. As he browsed through job listings, he thought to himself, he has to do it himself for the first couple of times. The clone can't follow the process if he gives an order that he hasn't experienced at least once. Jiang spots a part-time job opening at the logistics center and promptly calls to apply. After a few rings, someone answers, and he informs them that he saw the job listing on their website. The person on the phone confirms, "You're talking about the delivery type one, right?" They inform Jiang that there isn't an interview process. He simply needs to start coming to work. They then inquire, "When will you be able to start?" Without hesitation, Jiang responds, "From tomorrow." The person on the phone asked Jiang if he was available to start today, to which Jiang replied affirmatively. They then invited Jiang to come in at 6:30 p.m. Jiang couldn't help but wonder if the lack of an interview process meant that the company was disorganized or understaffed. However, he quickly shrugged off the thought, reasoning that as long as he got paid right away, it didn't matter much to him. This is the end of recap video for auto hunting with my clones. If you enjoy the video, please subscribe. If you'd like to see another story covered, please let us know in the comments.